Okay, so part two. We thought we would talk about ABA therapy. There is some controversy over ABA therapy. I belong to a couple of autism mommy Facebook groups, and there are quite a lot of people that are anti-ABA therapy. I think as kids get older and maybe into teenage years, that can be where if they're still having stimming behavior, like rocking back and forth or, hand flapping or something that, from what I understand or have been told, the goal is to try and have them use something that's not as distracting for the stimming behavior so that they can fit in better. And that's a debate, and that's one that we will have more conversations about as she gets older. But for now, she's a 3-year-old. When she makes certain noises or, excited sounds, we don't go to restaurants with the kids very often, even before COVID. But I did take her to a restaurant for breakfast one time, and she was really loud because she was really excited and making I don't know, grunting sounds, but sounds, vocalizations, and people were kind of staring, and I was kind of taken off guard because it's just normal sounds for us, and I think it's kind of a normal toddler sound too. But
I think one of the controversies of ABA is that it doesn't work for every kid.
Yeah.
Every kid, because it's such a huge spectrum, and that's one of the big challenges with Dana is, and for us as the parents, we get all these recommendations for things that we can do to help her out with negative behaviors, or help her out if she has some meltdowns, or bad days, or help her to feel more comfortable. There's all these recommendations. We've bought so many random things that we thought would help her out with some of her energy or something. We bought a trampoline that our neurotypical kid loves more than her. We, bought the little compression kind of spandex sock thing that she uses for a minute or two. I've got swings in the backyard and bicycles and all kinds of toys. And one of the biggest problems of Dana is that so little keeps her attention for more than a minute or two, and then she's on to the next thing. And that's one of her major ASD negative signs.
Negative traits.
Negative traits is just the kind of lack of attention span and constant movement, kind of hyperactive ADHD kind of behavior. And we just have lots of random little toys and things that we thought were going to keep her attention for a while and kind of calm her down and make her happy, and make her happy for a minute or two, and then she moves on to something else.
Yeah, I'm picturing a video where we just hold up the wiggle pad, the trampoline, the bike, the swing, the body sock, all the specialized things that
the tent bed, the lighting.
Yes. We have a bed tent for her that's pretty cool, but doesn't help her sleep any better.
Struggles with the lighting in her room.
The weighted blanket.
The weighted blanket.
Yeah, we could. Oof.
And you can send us suggestions on what worked for your kid if you have these issues, but we've tried a lot of stuff. We're kind of at the point now where it's just, we'll just deal with it. And, fortunately, the things that hold our attention the most right now is books have kind of gone away. They're not as exciting. So we have some Kindle Fires that have some, interactive learning games on them. She does sit still for that. And we didn't want to give her a tablet for a long time, but, thank God there's something that holds her in one place and allows her to calm down. And sometimes it's the only thing that actually lets her go to sleep and makes her sit still in one place, is that little stupid tablet. And then TV time, would like to let her run around outside, but she gets so dirty because she likes to eat dirt and throw stuff around and
sensory. All sensory.
Just dig into anything that's there, and man.
So she goes to daycare 4 days a week, and it's a small local daycare. Delta gets to go too, and the daycare owner is wonderful, and
Thanks, Nikki.
yeah, she has allowed Dana's ABA therapist to come into the daycare and work with Dana, which has been great. And we've actually just made a change recently because she has come so far that we've decided to back off on the hours. And I mean, since she's had ABA therapy, it kind of comes and goes as far as how many hours. We were doing at one point 6 days a week. And what that was looking like was a morning session. So the therapist would get here at 8 o'clock and then leave about 11:30 or 12. And then she would help get Dana down for a nap. And then
Because we can't do it. I
yeah,
don't know
she
how.
won't settle for us.
She won't take a nap for us unless something special happened.
Yeah.
Or she's riding in a car.
Yeah. And even then, that's not a guarantee. But, and then the second therapist, and it's not like it's revolving therapists, it's the same therapists. The second therapist would come or comes from 2:30 to about 6. And so the evening therapist will help us with dinner, help get Dana set up for dinner, help Dana to use a fork,
Brush your teeth.
Get her pajamas on. I'll do bath time, and so she'll kind of like be there to help during bath time if needed. It's a lot of help for us too. As much as it's help for Dana, it's a lot of help for us. And so after bath, getting her diaper on. She's not potty trained yet. We did try, and we'll try again.
She might be ready now.
Yeah, she's getting much closer.
Tried right at the beginning of the year when everything went into lockdown, and thank goodness they can still come to our house. Because
Yes,
Dana
it's a
would have
medical-
gone insane with boredom of just us.
Yeah. And she still does on the weekends. Both of them do. I
Yeah.
think they're bored with us.
We have been through several different providers or teachers or therapists.
Therapists, yeah.
Therapists have come through. It's been over a year now. It started when we moved to this house. And we've been through a few different ones. There was a couple that, like, none of them have been like, oh, we don't want that person in our house. There's been a few that were like, I don't think they're working out. Dana just doesn't have that magic with them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's something important. There's several different providers in this area. If you get an ABA therapist that come to your house, if it's not working out, don't stick with it. If, like, your kid doesn't respond to that person at all, and they have other people that might be able to rotate through, do it. Because I think that happened a lot. We had some that were just like, yeah, she's not really interacting with me today, so I think I'm just going to leave. I was like, yeah, you should leave. We're going to look for somebody else. And that sounds kind of negative, more negative than it was. That's just kind of the feeling that we kind of had. And then they did some restructuring with the provider here for the COVID lockdown time, and then limited the number of people that were coming to be exposed here at our house. And we had to fight to keep one of them, the best one, I think, that's had the best interaction with Dana so far. We had to fight to keep her as one of the primary providers. And I'm glad we did that. And I think that worked out good. And I know she would have been upset too if she hadn't had Dana. And even Delta, our neurotypical kid, loves her too.
And she loves them, I mean, you grow a bond. I don't know, people that work with kids, I don't know how you do it, because they grow up and you don't care for them anymore, and the next batch come through, and I'm sure it's just heartbreaking.
And you form an attachment, and then you get reassigned somewhere, or
Right. So let's see. They mainly work in her bedroom. It's an option to have it recorded if you want to. We choose not to do that. You can hear them through the door if you really wanted to. Delta gets a little bit sad now that she's older because she wants to play too. And, we try to keep Delta out for most of the session, or at least half, because, they need to work with Dana one-on-one. They're working on her vocalization and making sounds.
Speech pathology type stuff.
Yeah,
but they can't say, because they're not licensed speech pathologists, they can't say that they're teaching speech pathology. Wink, wink. But that's kind of what they're doing. And they also work, then they'll come out, take breaks, and work on some of the behavioral stuff in the house, and just do everyday activities. And if we wanted to, she could come tag along with us if we just went grocery shopping or do regular activities. But one of the drawbacks to ABA therapy that I mentioned is that, they're there to teach a kid, and it's therapy, but they're also a business. So in order to get funding, they have to have goals that are met, and they have to show that there's progress made. So they have goal-based stuff. They have to work through goals. And a lot of times a supervisor will set goals for Dana that never comes to the house or anything, and makes out a long list of goals that we want to get made. And Dana meets a lot of goals. Some of these are fairly simple things, like, just
Putting something on versus under. I think that's a recent one that they've been working on.
or saying a particular sound, things like that. So, sometimes you want to just say, well, can you just sit back and just, kind of work with her, a little communicative? They have to have some goals that they work on. So sometimes you'll hear the frustration from both of them. And so, that's one else. It's a business. They have to make money. That's how they secure their funding for the insurance company. And the insurance company doesn't want to keep paying for something that doesn't solve anything or help in any way. So you will run into that. And I've seen some complaints about our specific ABA therapy provider saying they're so goal-based, and I didn't understand what the complaint about that was. Because, you need to have some goals, you need to have some kind of progress. It's not there just to be a playmate for your daughter.
Or babysitter.
Or babysitter, which probably sounds kind of like what it is sometimes, because they take her and, keep her separate in a room when they're working on some of the more difficult tasks.
We have to be here, we can't just run up to the store while she's doing ABA therapy. Parent or adult always has to be here.
Or we could drop her off at the clinic. A lot of people do that. Lots of people are afraid to have her here.
Batteries almost
dead. A lot of people are here afraid to have people come into your home to work with your kids. And it's awkward, because I don't like strangers, or I didn't like people in our house. In the end, we're glad that they're here, and we know it's helping, and we're glad we started it early. The battery light's flashing, but I don't know, that's like a good place to wrap it up. I think we could just keep talking for hours.
I know.
We should just kind of end it here, and if you guys have questions, we can come back and follow up.
Yeah.
Because this is another 12 minutes on it, and we did 20 minutes before that, and then we decided thought it'd be a good idea to do an intro video. And
I would love to talk more about where she's at now. So that's maybe a good start to our next video.
Maybe Dana can be part of that.
Yeah.
So you don't just see us sitting on a couch.
Right.
Looking fine.
We're in blue.
Accidental match today. Woo.
All right. Well, we'll leave it here. Thank you for watching.
Bye.